1, 2, 3. We're planting seeds for new communities. It's time to wake up, to be the change in the world we want to see. It's time to open up, to redefine society. No, don't give up. We're planting seeds for new communities. Please wake up, wake up. Open your eyes, wake up. Please realize, wake up. You are skillful and wise. Wake up, open your eyes, wake up. Please realize, wake up. You are skillful and wise. Wake up. She dreamed bigger, she dreamed brighter. She had the energy of wholeness to guide her. And when she stopped to look inside her, she listened to her inner voice and said,
I can clearly see my choice to live in this new way, to take time each day, to meditate and to pray. It is a new day, and there is so much more that I need to say. So I'll keep walking on the earth in the sacred way.
we're planting seeds for
Sit beautifully. Attentive. You can close your eyes so you can be more focused, not be distracted. Wandering your eyes. Stay focused on your breath. Gentle breath. Enjoying your breath. Don't be distracted. Just let the words and the teaching just penetrate your consciousness.
Discourse on the 5 ways of putting an end to anger. Nghiem. I heard these words of the Buddha one time when he was staying in the Anathapindika monastery in the Jena Grove near the town of Shavasti. One day, the Venerable Shariputra said to the monks, "Friends, today I want to share with you 5 ways of putting an end to anger. Please listen carefully and put into practice what I teach." The bhikshus agreed and listened carefully. The Venerable Shariputra then said, "What are these 5 ways of putting an end to anger?" This is the first way. My friends, if there is someone whose bodily actions are not kind, but whose words are kind, if you feel anger toward that person, but you are wise, you will know how to meditate in order to put an end to your anger. My friends, Say there is a bhikshu practicing asceticism who wears a patchwork robe. One day, he is going past a garbage pile filled with excrement, urine, mucus, and many other filthy things, and he sees in the pile one piece of cloth still intact. Using his left hand, he picks up the piece of cloth and he takes the other end and stretches it out with his right hand. He observes that this piece of cloth is not torn and has not been stained by excrement, urine, sputum, or other kinds of filth. So he folds it and puts it away to take home, wash, and sew into his patchwork robe. My friends, if you are wise, when someone's bodily actions are not kind, but his words are kind, you should not pay attention to his unkind bodily actions, but only be attentive to his kind words. This will help to put you an end to your anger. My friends, this is the second method. If you become angry with someone whose words are not kind, but whose bodily actions are kind, if you are wise, you will know how to meditate in order to put an end to your anger. My friends, say that not far from the village, there is a deep lake, and the surface of that lake is covered with algae and grass. There is someone who comes near that lake who is very thirsty, suffering greatly from the heat. He takes off his clothes, jumps into the water, and using his hands to clear away the algae and grass, enjoys bathing and drinking the cool water of the lake. It is the same, my friends, with someone whose words are not kind, but whose bodily actions are kind. Do not pay attention to that person's words. Only be attentive to his bodily actions in order to be able to put an end to your anger. Someone who is wise should practice in this way. Here is the third method. If there is someone whose bodily actions and words are not kind, but who still has a little kindness in his heart, if you feel anger toward that person and are wise, you will know how to meditate to put an end to your anger. My friends, say there is someone going into a crossroads. She's weak, thirsty, poor, hot, deprived, and filled with sorrow. When she arrives at the crossroads, she sees a buffalo's footprint with a little stagnant rainwater in it. She thinks to herself, there is very little water in the buffalo's footprint. If I use my hand or a leaf to scoop it up, I will stir it up, and it will become muddy and undrinkable. Therefore, I will have to kneel down with my arms and knees on the earth, put my lips right to the water, and drink it directly. Straight away, she does just that. My friends, when you see someone whose bodily actions and words are not kind, but where there is still a little kindness in her heart, do not pay attention to her actions and words, but to the little kindness that is in her heart, so that you may put an end to your anger. Someone who is wise should practice in that way. This is the fourth method, my friends. If there is someone whose words and bodily actions are not kind, and in whose heart there is nothing that can be called kindness, If you are angry with that person and you are wise, you will know how to meditate in order to put an end to your anger. My friends, suppose there is someone on a long journey who falls sick. He is alone, completely exhausted, and not near any village. He falls into despair, knowing that he will die before completing the journey. If at that point someone comes along and sees this man's situation, she immediately takes the man's hand and leads him to the next village, where she takes care of him, treats his illness, and makes sure he has everything he needs by way of clothes, medicine, and food. Because of this compassion and loving kindness, the man's life is saved. Just so, my friends, when you see someone whose words and bodily actions are not kind, and in whose heart there is nothing that can be called kindness, give rise to this thought. Someone whose words and bodily actions are not kind, and in whose heart is nothing that can be called kindness, is someone who is undergoing great suffering. Unless he meets a good spiritual friend, there will be no chance for him to transform and go to the realms of happiness. Thinking like this, you will be able to open your heart with love and compassion toward that person. You will be able to put an end to your anger and help that person. Someone who is wise should practice like this. My friends, this is the fifth method. If there is someone whose bodily actions are kind, whose words are kind, and whose mind is also kind, if you are angry with that person and you are wise, you will know how to meditate in order to put an end to your anger. My friends, suppose that not far from the village there is a very beautiful lake. The water in the lake is clear and sweet. The bed of the lake is even. The banks of the lake are lush with green grass. And all around the lake, beautiful fresh trees give shade. Someone who is thirsty, suffering from heat, whose body is covered in sweat, comes to the lake, takes off his clothes, leaves them on the shore, jumps down into the water, and finds great comfort and enjoyment in drinking and bathing in the pure water. His heat, thirst, and suffering disappear immediately. In the same way, my friends, when you see someone whose bodily actions are kind, whose words are kind, and whose mind is also kind, give your attention to all his kindness of body, speech, and mind, and do not allow anger or jealousy to overwhelm you. If you do not know how to live happily with someone who is fresh as that, you cannot be called someone who has wisdom. My dear friends, I have shared with you the 5 ways of putting an end to anger. When the bhikshus heard the Venerable Shariputra's words, they were happy to receive them and put them into practice.
Good morning, dear noble community. I just have a few announcements to make. So I hope that everyone received this blue booklet. So this blue booklet is your passport for this retreat. So we would like to invite you to keep this blue booklet, as well as bring this booklet to the glamour, which I did to the Dharma talk this morning, as well as the Dharma sharing, because it has some songs and then we will sing them together. So please bring at least to those two events with you. And then in addition, the breakfast will begin at 8:30 this morning. And this morning, the mindful service will be in effect starting this morning. So we would like to invite those teams that are washing up, sanitizing, and washing pot. Please give us a hand this morning. The list for those mindful service family will be posted in the dining hall, just by the door when you walk in. So when you get in there, so please look at the list and see where your name, which family you belong to. And then last but not least, we would like to please continue to observe the noble silence until after the breakfast. Thank you.
So please help us to put the mats and cushions to the side so that we can practice Qigong and to our back.
Breathe out gently. Breathe from the far place. Out. Breathe like a dragon. So you bend the knee and you lower your foot. That's a nice big down. Take your time breathing out like a dragon. Breathe through your palms. Toes spread out. One more time. Nice heart. Lower your torso. Going out. Your leg. In. Out. One time. Back. And your feet a little apart. This time we're going to pull our spine up. And when you reach up, you also reach up with your head. Imagine your head pull up your spine. In. Stretch up. Hold spread. Stretching your head. You don't need to look up. Breathe out, lower, relax. In. Stretch. Out. In. Do this for grandma now, okay? Hello, grandma. Stretch. Relax. Back up. You feeling more? Yeah, a little bit. Feet apart. You do this correctly, it should be like really hot. This one we turn and push at an angle. So your right hand push towards your left above. Breathe in. Towards the diagonal with your hand. And look up. Breathe out. Relax. In. Over. And out. Relax. Now really push. Just don't do the movement. So you put your whole mind into it. Through your body, breathe gracefully. Kind of like a compliment, right? Allow. Try to do the whole movement like the ballet. Control. Turn. In. to push our right hand towards our left again, except it's horizontal. Okay? And we also push with our head. And look in front of you. So just breathe in. And your left hand pushes the opposite direction. So your right hand, okay? Your left hand, stretch your hand. Breathe out. Make a circle here. Come back out like this. And then come like this. And then push. Together. Left towards the right. Bend your knee. Breathe out. Relax right here. Relax. Come back to your center here. And push to your right towards the left. Bend your knee down. Go horizontal. Yeah. As far as you can. Breathe out. And here, relax. Make it gentle like a pencil. Left towards the right. Bend your knee down. Go horizontal. Push your head. Down. Imagine you're pushing the door of the head. Okay? In. Feel that stretch. Out, relax. In. Out. Hands out like this. So you make two circles. One from the bottom, one from the top. And you meet here in the chest. Out. Gentle, right here, gentle. You feel your palm. In. Try to feel your palm right out. Breathe through your palm. In. Out. Feel the blood through your palm. In your ribs. Out. And back. This one is we'll try to send you the sword and then chop our head off. So we're going to miss. Okay? Breathe in. Breathe. Breathe out. Keep your arms straight. Okay? One direction. Keep it. When you go forward, breathe out. So slowly you make it. Okay. The other hand, same direction as the first hand. You follow the horizon with your fingertip like this, right? And try to follow with your eyes. Keep your eyes focused on your finger. And then you bend back. Follow the finger. With the hand. This hand now. Do the other direction. In. Follow the finger. With the hand. Same direction. Feet together. And I'm going to push this way, and then you push this way. Okay? Hand straight. That's it. Breathe in, push. Tension. Push hard. Breathe out, relax. Keep your fingers straight. In. Out. This is also called computer late night. Late night. It's good for you. Hello, computer. And breathe. Your shoulder and your shoulder blade. Push there. Relax. In. Out. chest. Push up and down. Push up and down. Breathe out, relax. Come back to it. In. Out. The toes are spread. Feel the earth and the sky. You just graceful. All one movement. In. Strong breath. Out. Take your time. Take it out. In. This one we're going to do the whole entire on our toes. Begin. Hold on the toes, stretch all the way as high as you can. Your head and your all the way up. Breathe out. Go, stay on your toes. And don't go all the way down. Okay. Really squat now. In. Stay on your toes. Stay on your toes. Breathe out. And heel up. Stretch as high as you can. The ballet dancer, all the way up. Now. Stay on your toes. In. Stay on your toes. This will be good for grandma and grandpa. Hello, grandma. This is for you. Stay calm. In. Still on your toes. Out. Stay on your toes. Don't go all the way down. You know, kind of do this smiling. Okay, ready? Now, smile. You start to feel it. Ballet. Okay? Out. One more, you gotta be young, right? All the way up. And don't go all the way down. Stay there. Hello, Lee. Okay, next one. This one is for all those who get crossing. This one is, when you, you know the Tibetan moth? What's that like this? Kind of like that. So this one you have to stay loose, no? You have to stay loose and you bring your feet. Really hands. And then pull down and breathe out. Okay, the other way. Okay, come back. Okay, hands up there, feet apart, your hand there, and feel your mouth, okay? Yeah, I feel you there. Feel that? Like a little when you get old, you won't fall downstairs. Healthy knees, healthy ankles. Breathe. Oh, it's nice to be. Come on. Be hard. Really strong in there. Out. Breathe in your body. Okay, now we're going to pull the boat back. Okay? The rope is out there, we push it out. Now we're going to pull it back with the rope. And when you grab the rope, grab it with the tight fist. Okay? In, pull to your chest. All the way back. And out, spread your arm out. Relax. Reach forward, pull. Tighten the fist. Pull that rope. Strong out there. Let it go. Pull. Tighten the fist and then release the finger. Tighten the fist. Relax the finger. Squeeze that blood. Go to the other side. Turn around. And relax. Do it gracefully as you can. Just follow your body. Don't look anywhere else. Be in your body. Really pay attention to the movement. In, out, relax. Pay attention to your own breath, your own rhythm. Don't get distracted. Really be in that movement. Feel that movement. Relax. One more breath. Pull the rope. Pull in. Out. Like this. Breathe. Feel the movement. Graceful. Spreading out the wings. So wonderful. Okay, come back. Reach your width, your back angle out a little bit. Then you need till you feel the weight is distributed between your toes and your ankle. Feel that? You need a little bit. Breathe just with your nose. Pay attention to your breath. Stay with your spine, your neck. Stand like a tree. Just with your nostrils, in and out. Really be in your body. Feel your heart. Heart. Check your weight. Is it distributed even? Wider circle. Slower movement. The breath goes to the movement. Go down. Out. From the body. From the body. Breathe your palm. Come back to two feet together. This last week is how to allow you to take gratitude to our parents and our ancestors. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for giving me this life. Thank you, Mother Earth. And our teacher, Father. Please maintain our practice of silence, okay? you want to talk to your friend, you give her a just retry that. You're not moving your arm, you're just moving to the torso, your spine, and letting your arm just kind of dangle like a head. Bring your head to the way your body wants. Then make a triangle with your hand straight up, and then you make a circle.
This is the dining room. See? This is the breakfast area. This is when people finish and washing the dishes, everybody they dish themselves in the main dining room. now to the parking. Parking can accommodate well enough for 180 people, and so now this goodbye. There's a restroom here. That's a lower floor. Upper floor should be similar. It's a second dorm, 60 people. It's a third dorm, another 60 people. And it's a different camp, it's not belong to our camp. 1, 2, 3 dorm, and parking.
Feelings, perceptions, the different states of mind, and what's going on around us in the bodies of other people, and what are they doing, what they are doing in the environment, physical environment around us. So that is mindfulness, and that is a capacity innate to all of us, and it's very well developed in the human brain, in the forebrain. We have this capacity to be self-aware. A cat can be very aware, but the cat is aware only of the mouse. It's aware of the object outside of itself. But the cat may not be aware of its anticipation and excitement about this mouse. It may not be aware of the movements of its body when it's trying to catch the mouse. But as human beings, we have the capacity to be aware of the objects outside of us, such as, the message that you are trying to text, or maybe the email you're writing, or the video games that you are staring at. That's the object outside of you. But you also have a capacity to be aware of your own mind, of your own body. Unfortunately, very often, we are only aware of the things outside of us, and hardly ever we pay attention to what's inside of us, to our body, our feelings and perceptions. So mindfulness is a training, is a mind training for us to constantly become aware. And so today, 3 of us sisters, we would like to present to you 3 other factors. So the first factor is mindfulness. And 3 more factors we will introduce to you today is
One is investigation, diligence, and joy. And tomorrow, 3 brothers will introduce to you the rest of the 7 factors, okay, the other 3. So, I will write on the board for you. The 7 factors of enlightenment, or the 7 factors of waking up. The first one is mindfulness. The second one is investigation. The third one we'll talk about is diligence. And the fourth one is joy. All these factors, they support one another, that they are in each other. The word mindfulness in Chinese character, it has 2 articles. The top article stands for now, Nghiêm. And the second article, it means heart or mind. Okay? So the word mindfulness, literally it means the mind in the now. It's a now mind. Okay? So our mind, when it is thinking or caught in the past, it's daydreaming about the future. When it's caught in projects and plans, it's not a now mind. It's a past mind or future mind. It's a busy mind, but it's not a now mind. A now mind is aware. It's like a light that you shines on something. It shines on the object, and it shines on the objects around it as well. You see? So it has that quality of shining, of clarity, of being neutral. It's not caught in anything. So that is a now mind that we try to cultivate with breathing, mindfulness of breathing, which is simply aware of the in-breath and the out-breath as it is in this moment. Because the next moment, it will be a different in-breath, right? A different out-breath. So the now mind stays with the present moment, which is continually changing. When we hear a sound of the bell, and we stop everything, stop speaking, stop moving around, we even stop the thinking. We just simply smile to the in-breath, smile to the out-breath. We are training our mind to be in the now mind. Just with that new in-breath, just with that new out-breath. And then this next new in-breath. And we will use this now mind to practice the second factor of waking up, which is investigation. Investigation means it's like you do detective work. You want to investigate into something. And we can only investigate into something by using the now mind. So for example, if you see something, you see a person, or you smell something, and suddenly you think of the past. And then you see that person not as the person of the present moment, but of somebody who had hurt you, who had said something very unkind. Or that person reminds you of somebody else who had done something harming or negative to you. And then you withdraw yourself. You push the person out. So that is not the now mind, but it's the past mind. Looking at the present situation with a past mind, then we behave exactly like the past. Yeah? But with the now mind, you will see the person as he or she is in this moment. And we will not have the prejudice, the discrimination, the fear or the grasping, the uncertainty, you see, in the moment. And children have this capacity to be in the now mind. But slowly as we grow up, we have so many, we have so much baggage. We are taught to be suspicious, to be skeptical, and we experience things that happen in our lives that make us become more withdrawn, more protective of ourselves. So then to train ourselves to be in the now mind is to help ourselves to see the situation as it is in this very moment, and to respond to it as it is in this moment, and not as it was or not as what it may be in the future. So we investigate using the now mind. Okay? And what do we investigate? What do you think we investigate using the now mind? First of all is that we investigate our body. Okay? We talk a lot about mindfulness of breathing. Our body includes our breath. And the Buddha talked a lot about mindfulness of breathing. And it's very scientific. The breathing is a physiological manifestation of the mind. When you are sad, how do you breathe? Oh, there Tony is breathing when he's sad. Somebody sighs. You sigh when you're sad? My grandmother used to tell me, my child, if you keep sighing like that, our family will be doomed. We'll go into poverty soon. Because I kept sighing as a child. You know? So we cannot see our mind. Yeah? If I tell you to use a finger to point at the mind, how do you point out the mind? And yet you can see the mind in the sighing, in the sobbing. When you're angry, how do you breathe? Somebody breathe when you're angry. Oh, laborious, loud, huh? Quick. Yeah, quick breath. So you see, each state of mind will be reflected through our breath and through our body. So if we befriend, we investigate into our breathing, we will learn to understand our mind better. So normally, how do we breathe? In this moment, when more or less you feel calm, you are safe, you are not moving about, you're more or less relaxed. How are you breathing right now, my dear? Let us listen to one sound, the bell, and you investigate into your own in-breaths and out-breaths, okay? See, is it light or heavy? Is it deep or shallow? Is it short or long? What color does it have? What texture does your breath have? Okay. See, where do you breathe? Is it from the nose level, or the throat level, or the chest level, or the abdominal level? Where do you feel the movement of your breathing? Okay, let's investigate into our breathing. How many of you breathe from your throat level? Raise your hands. You can feel it in your throat. Yeah? Okay, about 3, 4. How many of you breathe from your chest level? You can feel the rising and falling of your chest. Raise high your hand, my dear. Okay, more than half of you. How many of you breathe from your abdominal level? You feel your belly rising and falling. Okay, inflating and deflating. Okay, less than half of you. You know, have you ever observed babies breathing? When they breathe, the belly, inflate. It's like a big balloon, right? And then when they breathe out, the belly comes down. So the baby is very relaxed. So the baby breathes from the abdominal level. But as we grow up and we become more stressed, there's more tension in our body, in our own thoughts and perceptions, our breathing becomes shallow and more shallow. Okay? So from the abdominal level breathing, we go to the chest level. People they heave like this. They breathe like that. And then sometimes when we are so anxious or so angry, so uptight, you can hear the breath in your throat. It only goes up here, or even at the nostril level. So investigate into your breathing often. When we hear a phone, when it rings, your own phone or somebody's phone, give yourself a moment to just simply breathe in breath, out breath. And in that moment, see where is it coming from? Where do you feel it most? At the throat or the chest or at the abdomen? Okay? Just investigate. Familiarize yourself with your breathing. When you are at a calm state. And then, when there's something happens, like something drops or a person shouts, or suddenly you remember you have to do something, you will see the sudden change in your breathing pattern. Or suddenly you realize you're heaving, or you're sighing, or your breath is very uncomfortable. And you say, breathing in, I am aware that my breath is difficult, is suffocating, uncomfortable. Breathing out, I'm here for my breathing. Breathing in, there's something going on. I'm not sure what it is, but there's a change in my breathing pattern. You see? So if you know what you're like at the calm state, then when there's a change, you will understand it. I remember when I went to Plum Village as a aspirant and then as a young nun, my breathing, I could feel it. It was so difficult. I could feel there was so much pain in my chest. It was very difficult to breathe. But I knew if I did not dwell in my breathing, then my mind would get lost. I would go crazy, literally. So I really did my best to anchor in my own breath. And slowly it helped me when the mind has a place to anchor in, such as the breath, then the mind is not generating more thoughts, more painful thoughts or angry thoughts. You see, you give the mind an anchor to dwell on, to hang itself on. And then those thoughts and perceptions, the pain, the anxiety, the sorrow, they have a chance to subside. So the breath is our friend. The breath, the breathing is always there for us to enable us to live, to be alive, but also to enable us to get to know ourselves. I know young people, you spend more time, on your electronic gadgets, but they only take your mind away. They seem to be your best friends, but really they take you away from yourself. They take your life force away, your brightness away. But if you invest more time in your own breathing, you will get to know yourself much more deeply. You will learn to take care of your loneliness, of your restlessness, of your joy, of your talents in a much deeper way. So let us enjoy another sound of the bell, to just be a friend, to get to know our own breathing. So we use the now mind, we use mindfulness to investigate into our breathing in order to understand our own breathing pattern, but also our own states of mind, our own emotions and feelings in that moment. What else do we investigate? We investigate into our own body. How was it for you when you did Qigong this morning? Was it nice to feel your own body, to be in your own body? When we pay attention so much to the object outside of ourselves, such as the television program or the movies or the video games, the messages outside of us, we are outside of our body. We become oblivious to the presence of this body. Some people can sit there for 5 to 8 hours without going to the restroom to relieve ourselves, We forget everything. So, breathing in, I'm aware that I have a body. Breathing out, I smile to my body. Yeah? And we practice scanning through our body. We just scan slowly from the head, forehead. Breathing in, I'm aware of my forehead. Breathing out, I relax my forehead with my out breath and with a smile. And slowly you scan down to the external organs of your body, such as eyes, mouth, hands, knees, etc. But you also scan the internal organs, such as your brain, your lungs, your heart. You scan and give thanks to each part of your body. And also, as we scan through our body, we will notice some parts of our body carry tension. I work a lot with young women who have been sexually abused or who have been molested, and I usually ask, where do you carry the tension? Where do you carry your pain? And they would usually tell me that they carry it in their shoulders. They said, my shoulders are very stiff and I cannot relax them. Or they would say, I carry my pain, the tension in my bladder. And so, as young men and young women, we need to be aware, where do we carry the tension, the stress, the anxiety, the pain? Where is it? Is it in your chest that you feel you cannot breathe well when you are stressed? Or you feel there's chest pain? Or is it when you are nervous, you're anxious, you're sad, you go to the restroom a lot? Yeah? Or some people, some young women would carry it in their uterus. So they would have very severe menstrual pain. Very severe pain in that area. Some people can also carry pain and tension in their limbs. Something happens, they feel all weak and wobbly. So investigate into your own body. Ask yourself, where do I carry my joy? Where do I carry my happiness in my body? Where do I feel it most? Also, we ask, where do I carry my pain, my sorrow, my anxiety and uncertainty? You see, because if you are aware of certain parts of your body that you carry, the sadness and the pain, then you learn to breathe into those parts more often. You learn to put your hands on those parts, and you breathe with them and relax them. When you wear a pair of shoes and you put pressure on one side of the shoe, like on the side some people drag their feet, so they wear the heel at the bottom like this. They wear it out so much that the other shoe is still entirely intact, but you have to throw away the whole pair because this one is so worn out. It's the same thing with our body. When we carry so much tension and stress in certain parts of our body, they become worn out slowly. When we're young, we don't feel it because it recovers itself, it masks itself easily. But just like a pair of shoe that is being pressured in one point so much, It will wear out, it will wear out more and more until it is not functional anymore. So it's the same thing for our body. We can become, it can develop a sickness later, like frozen shoulders. At first it's just, stiff shoulders, but then it becomes frozen shoulders. Or you can have chronic back pain, or you can have chronic abdominal pain. Or with time it can also even develop cancer or mental illness such as depression or anxiety. You see? So when we investigate into our own bodies, we know how to take care of them, how to relax them, to help them not to reach that threshold, not to push them over the threshold, but to learn to be more lenient, more loving, more caring. That is to investigate into our body. So let us listen to one sound of the bell and just breathe with our body and just see if there's any part of your body right now that may be carrying tension or stress, and you just simply breathe into that part and smile to it and say, I'm here, my dear. I'm here. I'm taking care of you. It's okay. It's okay. The Buddhist practice is a science. It's the science of the mind. Nowadays, neuroscientists, they're trying to understand the mind and consciousness, but they use equipments outside, But as Buddhist practitioners, as meditators, we use our mind to understand our own mind. It's very interesting that the Buddha should use the word to investigate, because that is a very scientific word, right? To investigate. But it is just another word for to meditate or to look deeply. Isn't that right? Yeah, you look into something to understand the roots of it. Why is it that I have this abdominal pain chronically? Why is it that my heart feels so, like there's this palpitation, it's difficult to breathe, it's painful in this area. I can feel my own heart beating. So you investigate into it, you look deeply into what's going on in your body, what's going on in your mind that may be causing these symptoms in the body, right? To look deeply, to meditate into it. So we have talked about investigating into the breath, investigating into the body. And the third part of it I'd like to introduce to you is that we investigate into the feelings and perceptions, because these are aspects of our mind. The breath and the body are concrete manifestations of our mind. And the feelings, perceptions, they are also manifestation of the mind, and we can also see them through the breath and through the body. I remember when I was a nun for just a year or two, and one day I was doing sitting meditation in the meditation hall in New Hamlet, and we converted this big room that they used to, I think, to keep cattle in there, and the walls were made of these rocks stacking on each other. Can you visualize the four walls made of big pieces of rocks? Okay. And then I was following my breathing and scanning through my body. And then there was this very strong sadness that arose, that overwhelmed me. And tears were just streaming down. And I tried to stay in my breathing. And that's what I have learned since then, is that even when I am crying, I still anchor my mind in my breath. If I don't have my mind anchored in my breathing, then that sadness will just replay itself. It will generate even more sad thoughts. Or if I'm angry and if I'm not anchored in my breathing, then the mind will continue to generate more angry thoughts. And very soon that sadness or that anger just becomes even more overwhelming, more uncontrollable. See? So as I was sitting there with tears streaming down, following my breathing, I opened my eyes and I saw these walls of rocks. And I asked myself, how have I built this wall? I saw this wall, this physical wall, stone wall in front of me, exactly the same way that it was in my heart. And inside of me there was this wall as well, this very concrete, gigantic, unshakable wall in me. I said, how have I built this wall in myself? And I looked at it, and the tears just streamed down, and all these memories of my life that arose, that caused me to put up these walls between me and others, but also between me and myself. You can also ask yourself sometimes in sitting meditation, how have you built this wall? Believe it or not, being a teenager, a young teenager, or being a young adult, you can also have walls in you already. Yeah? How has it come that you are not able to communicate with your mother? What has happened that now you cannot look at your father? What has happened that you feel so alienated in your own home? We have to investigate into these things, right? Instead of being lost in the screens, we can look inward and ask ourselves, why is it? Is it because, every time something happens, we just walk out? We just walk away? Or is it because we always look at the screen that we just brush our parents aside? And it becomes a habit, energy, it becomes a personality. We were staying in a home with somebody, and we had a young man. He hardly ever said anything to his parents. He didn't say anything to us. He had that face, the face of looking at the screen for so long, for so many years, that zombie look. It was like that. But you know what? Amazingly enough, when I came home one day, I heard all this talking very loudly, and I thought, who was it in the house? And it turned out he was playing games on the internet, and he was talking with his friends. And he was shouting, talking, laughing. He was incredibly communicative. He was not as, deaf and dumb as I thought he was. But he was very alive. But you know what? When we are so much on the computer, communicating in that way, the young people shared with me that they become socially awkward. They can be whatever, in the virtual world, but when they're in the real world, they're not able to look into the eyes of their friends. They cannot look at their parents. They cannot talk. They feel uncomfortable. They become socially awkward. They become emotionally unavailable to themselves and to others. So we have to ask ourselves, how have we built this wall in ourselves? How has it come to be? Because if we know how it has been built, then we can learn to reduce, to take a step back. So when I was looking at that wall and just crying, suddenly I saw that if I tried to remove that wall, it would be impossible. and it would create even deeper despair in me because it was so impossible. But in one moment in that sitting period, I saw that I didn't need to remove the whole wall. I only needed to remove one piece of rock. In between the four, the big rocks, there were the small ones lodged within. If I removed that one piece, I can already see light on the other side of the wall. I can already see there's something else beyond that wall. And amazingly enough, I touched some lightness in me. You see, in meditation, sometimes there are thoughts that arise in me, like in us, like a teacher, like a revelation. But sometimes it's actually an image, a sound, a sight, or a sensation that enables us to see something new. A situation that you're caught in for years because you see it in the exact same way. And you don't know a different way to behave, to speak, or to think, or to act. But in moments of clarity, of spaciousness, of quietude, you see a new angle to it, and you are free. You are set free. And in that moment, when I saw I did not need to remove the whole wall, but just one piece of rock I can already see on the other side, it was a moment of enlightenment. And the next moment it came to me that when one piece of rock is removed, it becomes easier to remove a bigger block of rock. It becomes easier. And I continued to breathe with that, and it came to me that, if I can remove a small piece and another and a bigger piece, slowly the wall will crumble by itself. We do not have to remove every single piece of rock. So it's the same thing when we investigate into our suffering, into our happiness, and we know how they're made up of. We see a way out. And we see that by changing something so small, the way we eat, if we can just eat in silence for 10-15 minutes, like we do here, we eat every meal in silence, or if we just learn to sit 10 minutes before we go to work or to school, before we go to sleep, or if we learn to walk from the car to the garage or to our classroom, if we just do that in mindfulness, just relax the body, be aware of the body, and just be aware of what's going on in nature. If we just make a small change, it actually can cause the whole wall in us to crumble. It helps us to see through our situation and to make changes in a very, amazing way. Whereas before we thought it would just be eternal or forever or something. Does it make sense to you? So that is what can happen. When we use the now mind and we look deeply, we investigate into what's going on in our body, in our breathing, in our feelings and perceptions. Okay? So now I will invite my sister to share about diligence. The word investigate, interestingly enough, it has the root word to invest. You see it? To investigate, to invest, to put effort into, to be diligent about. So my sister will share with you the different ways that we can be diligent so that our investigation can be fruitful, can be successful. Okay? So let us enjoy one sound of the bell.
Dear thầy, dear brother and dear sisters and dear friends, really made my heart beat so loud. Breathing out, a smile to my heart. So thank you for being here and bear with me because I'm shaking a little bit inside. Please breathe with me and smile to me so that I stay calm. So today I will share with you about diligence. So I'm not a person who are really diligent. So this is my practice, and I know all of you. We all have diligence seed in us. So we're diligent in texting messages, diligent in cooking, diligent in eating, diligent in school. Some kind of diligence we all have, diligent in eating. So also for myself in the past, I was really diligent in shopping. So every Sunday after Chua, I go to temple. So after Chua, I have to go to shopping every Sunday. It's my habit. So we all of us have habit, different kind of habit. And I found out that because I was very, I have suffering inside, sadness inside, and I don't know what to deal with it. But I don't know where it comes from too. I know a little bit about it, but I don't know how it works. So it didn't help me so much, and that's the way I can go to the shopping. And sometimes I don't need to buy anything. I just go window shopping, and it's helped me just to feel feel that hole inside of me. So when I come in touch with the practice, I have a chance to learn how to be right diligent. So today I will share with you a different kind of diligence. So I will try to draw on the board. So we have all kinds of the diligence. But first I would like to draw this. So in Buddhist psychology, we have described our mind something like this, like a circle. And then there's two parts of it. So this half of it, we call here on the upper part is mind consciousness. And this one, store consciousness. So on the store consciousness is the seeds. And under here we all have different kind of seeds here. So we have seeds of mindfulness that you have learned. And seeds of joy, happiness, and so on. And on the other, we also have unwholesome seeds, such as like craving, anger, anxiety, and so on. So this we call unwholesome seeds, and this one is wholesome seeds. So we all have this kind of seeds in us, all of us. Even when we monks and nuns, you think we're not angry, but sometimes we also have anger coming up. We have joyful, like smiling every day. We all have this kind of seed. So where it come from? But on this level, it's related to our six senses. When we hear something, when we see something, it's come down here and it touch the seed from our store consciousness, and it's come up to the level of our mind consciousness. If it's a beautiful image, would be like a smile up here, right? But if we touch the anger seed here, what happened? What happened to our faces? or eyes, or faces turn red, or something like that. And then also for the
Can you hear well from back then? Can you hear well?
and from our eyes, or ear, or nose, or tongue, or body, and mind. So when you hear something or you see something, it will touch the seed from down here, and it will come up to the level of our mind. And we have also when somebody touch you or something, there is a feeling inside of us, and it's also come up here. And with mindfulness, we can recognize that. We can say, you can see if it's anger, or if it's sadness, or it will come up, and we use mindfulness to embrace this. So these 4 kinds of diligence. The first is the seed that we already have here, joyful seed, joyful happiness seed, and wholesome seed. We try to water it. So when we sit down calmly and peacefully, and we can see what is make us happy. And whenever there is somebody say something about us, very good, there is a joy coming up, right? So when we sing, like this morning when we sing, that seed of joy, it touched the seed of joy. So everyone's smiling, everyone's so happy. So if we want to continue that, we have to water that seed. Like keep singing, or keeping playing sport, or keeping something that makes you joyful. So that's the first kind of seed. And then the second is to, when the seed already come up in our mind, happy, joyful, and we should maintain that. We should keep that on the level of our mind consciousness, which is every day we do something. Like for myself, I like nature, so I have to know what I like, and it's bring me happiness. So I like to walk in nature. I like to arrange flowers. I like to cook. So I have to know what is the benefit for myself, and I will continue to do that. So it's cultivating. And if I know that it's benefit for my body and for my mind, I will keep it on this level. But sometimes there is something touched by the here, and then the seed of anger coming up. Then I know when I know it is a seed of anger is coming up. But I just let it be as it is. So that's the second, and the third is when there is a seed of unwholesome seed like anger here. Just be aware of it and try to keep it down here. So when we say that whenever there is always something, there is need food. Always, if we keep feeding it, if you feed it, it will become a habit. It will become a big, strong, and it will come up right away when your mom says something. And you keep repeating it every day, and it's make that anger come very strong. So whenever, so we try not to water that seed. Or sometimes for myself, I talk to the roommate that I live in together. There is 4 of us living in the same room, and I know that when she touched that burden in me, or I touch that burden in her, it will come up the anger. So I ask my sister, please support me not to keep water that seed. If you see me beginning to touch that seed, please smile or walk away or something. So here, and we try it. When we not water it every day, it will become small and will sleep down here. It will not come up. So the more you touch, it will manifest big and big. It will become explode. So your anger is the same thing. And but it happens sometimes we already have the seed of unwholesome like anger already manifest in here, and your face turn red. You're about to hit somebody. It's happened. So in our practice, my practice, whenever I know that is coming up, so I become aware of my body. Like Sister D say, invest in your body, become aware of your breath, and don't say anything. So don't say anything, come back to your breath, and slowly, or I like when there's one time I was working in the kitchen with my sister, and she asked me to do something. She asked me to cut something, and then she say something is very like my mom. It's like a habit from my mom when she asked me to do it, she like make me do it, and there's a seed of irritating coming up, and she keeps saying it, and I don't like that. Before sometimes I don't when I was just ordained, so it came up, and I was tearing. I teared out, and I don't know how, but because I was taught by a teacher or brother and sister to take a breath, but I couldn't take my breath because it was so big. So I bowed to my sister, and I walked around the lotus pond, and a few rounds, and I come up. But the sister know because we all practice together, so we know that is emotion, and it's okay for us to walk out. So in our family, if it's happened, we can ask our family member to support us whenever that seed comes out too strong. We just come back to ourselves or take a walk outside, and we calm it. So we try to bring that down. When for a few breath or for a walk, it will come back down. And we will ask the community or some your family member not to continue to keep water that seed, so that the anger not coming up. So sometimes we all have a habit energy. For myself also, because I'm really lazy. Sometimes I'm really lazy to sit in meditation in the morning, like to sleep. How many of you like to sleep? Majority, like this morning, because to come to a new place, and it's hard to settle my mind down. I do the scanning body, but the light outside was in my face, so it was really difficult for me to really fall asleep. So this morning at 4 o'clock, I already woke up, but like the seed of laziness is still there. It's coming up. I just move back and forth in my bed until 5:30. So that's one of my habit energy. So we all have habit energy, but we have to cultivate mindfulness, like Sister Dee say. So when the seed of mindfulness is strong and is manifest up here, you can recognize, and we can sometimes step out of that. We can step out of what our habit energy is. But we have to cultivate day by day. It's not just one time and you are good. You are master it. But for myself also, with the step, with the breath, everything I have to ups and down, sometimes like that. But I have to be. We need the quality if we want to be diligent. We also need to have courage. For myself, sometimes I have to need a lot of courage to overcome my habit energy. But I'm not just. If you already like to text message or be on the computer for 5 hours, 8 hours in Canada, we were in the teen camp, and then many children they up like maybe 7, 8 hours on the computer. So when having some kind of habit energy, it takes a long time to train. So we don't just completely, want to be out of the habit, but we can slowly reduce, like my sister said, reduce a little bit, reduce and replace the joyful seed. So it will balance out. It will balance out slowly, and then sometimes we need a lot of courage and a lot of friends around to help us. But we have to say it truly. If we want to change something, we have to tell our sister, brother, who can support us, and they remind us every day. If not, we will fall down, fall into that habit. And we need courage, we need patience, and love ourselves, because this seed is not only for us, but it's already transmitted to many generations down. Our grandparents, sometimes it's not our habit too, it's just our grandmother or mother passed down to us. So we have to understand, sit down and understand ourselves and give ourselves some space and love and be patient. Sometimes we cannot do it, don't feel discouraged, but we can do it every day. I just want to tell a story. So, I don't know if everyone here, because I come from Vietnam, so when I was young, I hear many stories of ghosts, and I'm really afraid of ghosts. So whenever I'm with the community, it's okay. I can go to the meditation hall. Even as a nun, I'm still afraid. It's weird, but it's happened in me. It's truly. And so this winter retreat, I promised myself to really challenge myself. So every evening I go to the Dharma hall alone. Like 9 already. The finish is 9:30 already. When the big bell invited, I go promise myself to come. So the first day, you know what happened? I do touching the earth. I just read the text, but I touch as I read, and I heard something. So it's so scary. But I read, I come back, I say, okay, it's okay. It's just the wind. So the door is just slammed. I was so afraid. The second day, the same, but the same. I heard some noise or some like cracking of the wood or something. Then I got startled. But more and more I practice, and sometimes I'm lazy. But I say I have a promise already with the Buddha, so I will do it. So even when I'm sick or something, when I'm not well, because that promise. But sometimes we need to have a vow to go through something, and that strong vow can help you to go through it. Because not because you want to be something enlightened or something, but just to see ourselves, to see our mind, and to see how our body react. So I do that, but at the second month, it's totally different. I was amazed. Like when I touch down with the word that I read, the words in the text that I read is come deep, and I touch my ancestor in me, my ancestor, the Buddha. And I feel all of them are supporting me, and no more like thinking of ghosts or something. My mind was distracted on that, but it's all this seed of loving kindness, all this love from the Buddha and from my ancestor, my mother, my father. I feel that all of them are doing the touching the earth with me. And so that on, I have a lot of faith. I have to say I can do it. So I come and do every day, and that's nourished a lot of happiness in me. Touching the earth, like you bow down, you like with the whole body and mind, you just bow down and follow your breathing. But for me, I read the text that our teacher reads, the 5 touching the earth in the text, and I just touch the earth. So that just gives me a lot of confidence, and whenever there's sometimes when I'm alone, there's seeds that are coming up, but I'm aware that, okay, I know, but all of you are here with me. So because it's just the way we water in the past, like when you see movie, when you see scary movie, or when you play a game, you think it doesn't affect, but it actually affects a lot in your body. So know what you put in. It will come out, When you're alone, it totally come out. When you sit in meditation, before I was a nun, I think when I become a nun, no more suffering. Nothing will happen to me. But when I ordain, when I become a nun, I have a chance to sit down, and I know I experience suffering because all this in the past that I was cultivated, was the listen, hear, watch movie. Listen to, Chinese movie. I don't know what's that called. Kung Fu movie. All that. Like soap opera. So all that seed come out. And sometimes I say, oh my God, I always regret that I have listened to all that, because it's all in here. The store consciousness is keep all the image, keep all the seeds. So be careful. Now you know already where it's come from. Whatever you put in, it will come out, and it makes you suffer. But we have mindfulness. Now we're lucky that we have mindfulness, so that we cultivate, be aware of when you come in here, like Brother Fatim say, you put your shoes, go to the toilet, and mindfully enjoy. And when you sit down, sorry, when you eat, you chew, you know, all these good seeds. So when it's this, you cultivate this good seed in you, then the bad seed have a chance to sleep, and it will slowly get smaller and smaller. So you can reflect on it about Facebook. And I used to go on Facebook. Sorry, I have to. I have to confess it to my brother and sister. But I see that it's affected me a lot. But I don't go and chat with people. But I just come and see my cousins and my brother and my sister-in-law and my niece and nephew. But I see how it's affect, how it's affect when the way they dress, the way it's water seed in us, it come up. So after that last tour, I promised myself in the whole 3 months, I don't touch Facebook. And it was okay. It was okay, like the whole time, and I was very proud of myself. And my cousin and my family still okay. So sometimes I just call them and say hello and how they are. But it's okay. We don't have to have these things, but we have the nature. So the more I practice, I treasure the nature. Like little word, it can become something very sacred to the branches, and it's beautiful when you I like in Plum Village we have in the winter the trees, beautiful. The shape of the tree when you have time and you are peaceful, it's very beautiful. And they teach me a lot. The trees, the animals, the grass. And today here I see that a lot of the weather is the same, so all kind of flowers and grass and the ocean here is so beautiful. So take time to allow yourself to water those seeds of joy and happiness. Look down on the grass to see what kind of flower you see. And little thing like that is nourished our happiness and joy. So I will stop here so my sister can continue on how to investigate into joy, how to water the seed of joy.
Maybe we take a moment to stretch, okay? We'll listen to one sound of the bell, we'll stand up and stretch, do movements, and then we'll listen to the rest of the class. You're doing very well here. Thank you.
Massage your legs before you stand up.
Feel your feet.
I feel like I'm old.
And now relax your two arms, relax your back, relax your whole body, your toes. Third time. Again, breathe in as deeply as you can. Reach as high as you can. Breathe out. Good. Now we reach up and then we touch our toes, okay? Young people should be able to do this. Okay, reach up, breathe in as high as we can, and then touch down as low as we can. See how flexible you are. Breathe out, okay. Now slowly Raise up again. Breathe in. And then bend down. And stretch the back of your legs. Your arms hang down as low as you can. Have a smile. And again, the third time, slowly up, slowly up. And then relax your body and touch down. Touch the ground with your 2 hands. Feel your body stretching. Good. Stand up. Third movement, we put our 2 hands on our hips and then we raise, we stand on our toes. And then slowly we come down like you're sitting on a stool with a smile, as low as you can. Okay? But on your toes though, I see all your feet. High stretch. Okay, stand on your toes. I think you sit at the computer too much. Slowly down, stable. Imagine there's a stool. You're sitting on it, on your toes. Okay, now raise up again. We are crackling already. And slowly down with a smile, focus. As low as you can. Still on your toes, okay? Up again. Good. Okay. Let us sit down again. Dear sisters, dear brothers, dear family, I'm very happy to be here with you, to be in the retreat. I would like to know how many of you woke up this morning and feeling awake, and ready to for the sitting meditation. It's a little bit too early, huh? You will get used to it tomorrow and the day afterwards. This morning, when I woke up, I felt very fresh, very relaxing with the scenery and the air, the sea breezing. It's wonderful to have that kind of air. The nature is really nourishing us. To tell you the truth that I became a nun in order to have joy, not to avoid suffering. Some of our traditional thinking is that when a person becomes a monk or nun is because he or she had so much suffering or has a broken heart. like in Cải Lương, Lan và Điệp. The girl went to the temple and became a nun, and then the man stayed outside and tried to invite the man or something. I didn't have that, but I became a nun because I had so much joy when I was along with the brothers and sisters on a US tour for 3 months. I tasted the life of a meditator. When I look at all the pictures here, when they train the soldiers, their face looked really strict, really severe, and it kept me away from them. But with all the brothers, the sisters, I felt so friendly. Up until now, of course, I'm in the same family with them now. But the minute that I met them and fell in love with the Sangha, I always felt the friendliness, the warmness, the secured, the protection from the brothers and the sisters, and that gave me a lot of joy to give up everything and walk on the path with them. When we practice together, the mindfulness is our basic training. We use as a novice, when we enter the monastic life, we use all the gathas in order to apply the gathas, the short poems, so that we can concentrate, we can really investing ourselves in every moment of our daily lives. Like when we open the faucets to turn on the water, we have a short poem in order to bring our mind back to our body and really focus on our movement, to turn on the water, to really see how's the water coming from the mountain to the pipe, to our home, to our sink, and provides hot, warm, cold water for us to brush our teeth, to wash our face every day. So in every moment of our daily life, we use that to cultivate the mindfulness within us, so that we can really live a day to the fullest. That's our training in our monastery. And of course, our training is really relaxing and gentle, not really strict, but always we remind ourselves back to the present moment, back to the mind and the heart that is really in the here and the now. After practicing for a while, I see that I felt a lot of gratitude to my body that I inherited from my ancestors, my parents, all the characters, because when I really focus in every moment of my daily life, I see that I'm not really just me, When I really focus on my hands, I know that it's from my parents. My hands, it looks exactly like my mom. So even now I'm not living with my mom, I still be mindful enough and have contact with my mom through my hands. I would like to tell a story, just a small story. When I first became a nun, I was practicing really hard at that time, and one time one of the sisters asked me something, and I turned, it was on the serving table, and I turned for my sister in order to really mindful and focused on what she was saying to me, but my hand is still like in it was about to take something. I remember a spring roll or brownie, I'm not sure. My hand was about to take it, but I have to turn myself toward my sister in order to listen deeply to what she was saying. And then I know that it's not a mindful movement at all, and it's not a practice. So while I was listening deeply to my sister, one of the other sisters took another thing and put it in my hand. And it was not spring roll, it's something else. It's one way for her to remind me that you need to be mindful either in saying or listening or picking up the food. So in our monastery, we teach each other that way. We remind ourselves to be mindful, to really focus in one thing when we're doing anything, but in very gentle, very joyful way. And in our life, we enjoy every moment of our life. We can drink tea together. We enjoy each other. We can sing together. It's not like in a concert that we sing. I'm not a good singer at all. But now after almost 5 years in the monastery, I can sing a little bit. Thanks to the time that I am around with my brothers and sisters and having tea, drinking a lot of tea together. And when we drink tea, we really appreciate the fact that we are there, we are here for each other. We cherish the relationship, the face-to-face relationship, and all the feelings that we can put out and feel secure, feel protective. When we drink tea, then in this retreat, you will have chance to have the tea meditation. When we drink tea together like that, we can just drink a cup of tea for like half an hour, an hour. Really smell the tea. Really enjoy the color of the tea, the warm water on our hands, and appreciate how it can come to our hands. That gave me a lot of joy when I live my life like this. I don't need to have I don't need to go to a bar or pub or try all kind of martinis in order to entertain myself and to have joy to myself. And with the practice of mindfulness like that, it helps you to really calm down your body and your mind, to really anchor yourself in whatever that you are doing in every moment of your daily lives, because your life is made up in each moment of the now and the here. It's not in the future. Your life is you going toward that direction, but if you missing the moment now, then you cannot make it for the future, and the past is already gone. And we know that we always building, fixing, or cultivating the past throughout the present moment. So the practice of mindfulness really helped me to devote myself in my life, in whatever that I'm doing, and really help me to focus in whatever I'm doing. That's called concentration. The concentration can bring joy because it's, some of you still in college or still studying something, and even after college you need to study something, and you know that if you really focus your mind in whatever that you're doing, it takes you less time than you have to spend hours and hours doing the same thing and your minds get dispersed, right? So if we train our mind in order to focus in one thing, to really have space, like the lake that is calm, that can reflect all kind of the scenery around it. So it's the same with your mind. When your mind is calm and focused and tranquil, it helps you to absorb everything that you need to learn. I was very busy in my life before nun because I was studying, working all kind of jobs, having relationship, doing so many things, taking care of my family at that time. So I would love to learn how to play the guitar, but I couldn't do it. I couldn't have a really calm mind in order to learn a musical instrument, especially for me who not good at, who don't have the musical talent at all. But amazingly, when I became a nun, of course, on our schedule we really have something going on day after day, hours after hours, but somehow with the practice of mindfulness, that cultivating the concentration, I have time and I have space, and the space really deep and really easy, absorptive. For me to learn anything, a language, I can learn a language, another language, another kind of musical instrument. And now at the monastery in Luther, most of the brothers and the sisters, they learn to play guitar, violin, drum, anything. They can do anything. And I always look at my brothers and sisters with an amazing eyes. That how could they do that? Yeah, and I think that is thanks to the practice that we've been cultivating every day, the practice of mindfulness, leading to the concentration. And when I became a nun, my parents didn't like it at all. They thought that they're losing a daughter, and I'm losing a career or something, and an education, and I just gave up everything to go to the temple. But I see that I learned a lot in the temple. I learned from my brothers and sisters. We have classes that teaching everything, and when we learn from each other, we don't need to have like competitive mind. We just open to ourselves. Even when we share, when we open a circle and we share from our own experiences or our own stories, it's also a lesson or many lessons for us to learn from each other. Each of us has our own history to tell. So I see that when we came together and practiced, we brought the experiences, the education that we have been raised, we have been brought up to the monastery, and we share with each other. Sometimes none of us has to go out in order to get a degree or to learn anything else, learn anything more, because I know that when I need to learn to know anything about computer or any organizing techniques, I always go seek for advice and instructions from my brothers and sisters who have a lot of experiences. When we went on a tour like this, I have to admit that I learned a lot from organizing a retreat with all many details. So that's not the knowledge that we try to obtain in college, because that kind of knowledge is very theoretical. But whatever that I'm learning in the monastery is the way that can bring us together, and the way to see things in a broader view, and the way to be with each other. We don't need to do anything by ourselves. We are a team. When I'm here and trying to share with you whatever experiences, whatever I'm learning or practicing in our daily lives, we have the support of all the brothers and sisters here, and that's the reason why I'm really shy speaking in front of all of you or any other group, but I still feel that I can do it. When I flew from New York to Houston and here, the weather has changed a lot. I see the green grass. In New York, we still have a lot of snow. Here we can enjoy the open air, open spaces, and the color of the grass is so green, and I really appreciate that. I see the changing of the nature, and I when coming from a very cold, snowy, freezing area, I appreciate more the warm weather, or at least the not too cold weather like it is here, and even the ocean, that we can just walk alongside the ocean without feeling too cold to be out. So with the practice of mindfulness, and I really appreciate more whatever that happened to me, happened to my daily lives. When I look at the leaf in front of me, I see that it's of course it's just a small plant, and it's just for decoration. Sometimes we just ignore it. It's too small to have a look at it, to notice it. But if we look deeply, we see it's really a plant. The plant has the life of a plant. It gives us oxygen every day, like in the song. The amount of giving is small, but still it has the contribution of giving. Yeah. So the more I practice, the more I see joy in the small thing. Even the small plant can give me insight that I need to treasure every small thing, the small plant, the small animal, the small birds that can signal us that spring is coming. When you live in a very cold and freezing area, and you don't have a chance to hear the chirpings of the birds. But then one day, when you hear the birds singing, you know that's the first sight of the spring, and you will feel very fresh and like feel alive after a long period of sleeping, winter sleeping. That's the insight. That's how we can deepen our practice and really look at the small things and appreciate and see joy out of it. He's appreciating a ladybird. He's appreciating a ladybird now. So, in order to have joy, the practice of mindfulness, concentration, and insight help us a lot to see things deeply and to really appreciate whatever that happened to us that can cultivate us love and joy, and be aware of anything that happened. Like if I try running around the meditation place, as a young person, I came here as a young person in order to obtain a degree, in order to go to college, and I did. But when I was about to graduate, I was asking myself what I'm doing and what's next. You know, sometimes at your last year of college, you will ask yourself the question, what's next? Will you stay at the same college or stay in the same area in order to get a job, or go move to another state, or getting higher degree, or some of you don't know what to do with your life. So I was in the same situation when I was about to graduate. Even though I got a degree in Vietnam, it still is really confusing to me for the future, because I see that after college, if I have a good job, I will have a house, I will have a car, and maybe somebody, one or two people who love me. I'm not sure. How pretty. So is that it? Does my happiness just belong to one or two person? Does my joy just going out to work and came back home and just handling all the bills every month? And sometimes if we have vacation time, we can go somewhere and then really put ourselves there and then come back home feeling so exhausted. I was lucky to have a friend, my best friend, my childhood friend, who is also a nun in Plum Village, and she invited me to a retreat like you guys. That is even just bigger because at that time, Thầy was here in the U.S. and that delegation itself was about 100 brothers and sisters, and the retreatants was like thousands of people. So I went to a retreat like that. My first and oldest goal is just to see my friend. I had no interest in sitting meditation, eating meditation, not at all, because my life at that time is very fast. But like I shared with you, I encountered the brothers and the sisters, and the openness really include myself in the Sangha. And I just follow along all my friends and all the sisters. Whenever they go, I just, whenever they went, I went with them. Whatever they did, I just follow exactly. And then the more I practice, I see I feel the joy, I feel the safe within that circle, thanks to their heart, thanks to their compassion, thanks to their openness and their joy. I feel recruited in the community, and I see that my life can be more larger, bigger than that. bigger than just having a career, having a family, because the more I practice, I see that my family doesn't need to be included within a number of 10 members. It can be more than that. Now you are my family. We have a chance to see each other. We can leave things behind in order to be here, enjoy each other's presence, and really contribute ourselves, really be there for each other. That's how a family member are for each other, right? So I see that the image of having a family from within myself keep expanding if I continue on the path of a monastic person. So and the more I practice, I enjoy I cultivating the strength, the concentration, and I have a deep view, a right view of whatever that I need to do with my life. My happiness is not given from somebody else. When you go to work, you have to really depend on your colleagues, on your boss. If your boss get upset, you dare not to say anything. Of course, with the all kind of basic practices, we know how to tackle these things, but we don't need to depend. Our life doesn't depend on one person or on one job. So I see a bigger view of the happiness that I can cultivate for myself, and it's not from the outside, it's from the inside. It is the fruit of meditation. It's the fruit of the sitting, of the walking, of the eating that I'm doing every single day. That really open myself, really tranquil, really calm my mind, and open and still the lake of my mind, so that I can see things better. I can accept things, and I can accept more people, and thus after 2 years, I decided to give it a try, to follow play in another tour for 3 months, from Boston to Colorado to Deer Park and to New York, and then on the last day, a couple last day of the retreat there, I was ordained by Thay and the whole Sangha, and I felt so loved and so free from that time on, and so much happy and joy. Don't need to worry about anything, even sharing in front of you. So I'm very grateful to the fact that I can practice today as one of the person that can practice 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, because with the life of the monastic person, that's how we do everything in the light of mindfulness, of concentration, of practicing, in order to be really the torch for you all to know that you can have joy, you can have happiness through the practice, and you don't need to have to look for any other possession, any other fame or career outside of you. Everything is already inside of you. If you have it, then you can have it all. Thank you for your listening. So dear ones, before we start, just have a fun, quick quiz. How many factors of waking up are there? 7. Okay, what's the first one we learned?
Mindfulness.
Another translation from the Chinese, what does it mean?
9.
Okay, what's the second factor of waking up?
Investigation.
What are we investigating into?
Our body.
Body, breath, what else?
Heart.
Our mind, exactly. Specifically our mind as feelings, perceptions, yeah? Okay, investigation. And then, what's the third factor of waking up?
Diligence.
Diligence. How many ways are there we can be diligent?
4.
4 ways. What do they have to do? What kind of seeds are we dealing with?
Anger, sadness,
Okay, general, good seeds
and
and
bad.
bad seeds. Okay. With good seeds, there are 2 ways. If they're still low, laying low, what do you want to do with them?
Water.
Water them so that they can grow. Yeah, they can grow, right? And if they're already up there, the seeds of joy, of love, of generosity, they're up there, what do you want them to do?
Stay there.
Stay there, exactly. Now, what about the unwholesome negative seeds? If they're still down there, what do you want to do? Don't do anything to them. Keep them low, okay? Lay low, okay? And if they manifest, what do you do with them? Breathe so that they can come down. Exactly, breathe. What's another way to bring them down? Walking meditation, breathing meditation. What's another way to bring them down? Huh? Meditation. Absolutely, my dear. Okay. Now once they are down, once you are calm, then we can investigate into them, right? You understand them more, yeah? So that next time they don't come up so easily. Or next time when they come up, we can bring them down quickly, right? Good. Now that's diligence. What is the 4th factor of waking up? Joy. How many ways are there to cultivate joy?
100.
Sister share with you there are about 4 ways. Okay, good. What's the first one that can bring joy?
Không ghim bạn.
Mindfulness. Mindfulness can bring joy. Okay, just to be aware of conditions that we have can already bring joy. What's the next one that can bring joy? Mindfulness and then?
Appreciate nature.
Okay, that's mindfulness. Appreciation. Yes. What's the second one?
Concentration.
Yes, concentration brings joy. A dispersed mind, it doesn't bring joy. It brings restlessness. Concentration brings joy. What's the third one?
Compassion.
Compassion, yes, that brings joy for sure. But the third one, she was saying something about looking at the plant, aware that it gives oxygen. Oxygen brings joy for sure. Understanding brings joy, okay? So let's review it. First one is mindfulness brings joy, concentration brings joy, understanding brings joy. What's the 4th one? It's a bonus point here. 4th one. What about simplifying your life? What about putting down the iPod aside? What is that?
Rejection.
Letting go. Okay, releasing, letting go. Okay, let's review it again. 4 ways to bring joy. First one, insight, wisdom. Okay, the first one is letting go. Wonderful. Let us bloom flowers. Awesome. So we still have 3 more tomorrow, and 3 of our brothers are going to share. So let's see how they're going to share the last 3, okay? We'll check it out. So now let us sit up beautifully, dear ones. Relax our bodies. We have done so well. Sit down. Okay. You have been very concentrated, I'm sure. More than the bell together. Really be in our breath. Be in our body. Be here, in the now. And be with each other. How wonderful it is that we can be together, learn together, practice together, play together, and wake up together. Let us enjoy 3 sounds of the bell and deepen that awareness, that joy. Let us take a moment to stretch our bodies and recenter our bodies. Follow the breathing. Yet, visit them. Okay, be aware of your body. With another sound of the bell, we'll stand up together. Standing up, I'm aware that I'm standing up slowly, gently, and joining our palms with awareness. We bow to each other with gratitude. Now we bow to the Buddha within and all around us. Please take a moment to use the restroom, and then we'll gather right outside for walking meditation. If you have a coat or jacket or something, please put it on. Alright? So we'll gather in just 3 minutes or so. Outside the dining hall. Okay. Thank you.
Smile.